So if you're like me and you're paying attention to everything that's going on in the world and in our country and in our lives, that it's really easy to get exhausted, right? It's really easy to get worn out of trying to help, serving people, loving people, doing the things that Jesus has called us to do, and at the same time getting to a point where we feel worn out. Maybe we feel like we're not making a big enough difference or we're not doing enough good to change things. And when that happens, we kind of just want to throw up our hands in the air and say, I'm done. I'm exhausted with all of this. And what difference is what I'm doing making? And as I was wrestling with that and hearing other people wrestle with that emotion, it reminded me of a verse from Galatians chapter 6 where the Apostle Paul writes, "And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." And so he's telling us as the church, don't give up, don't get weary, don't get worn out, don't grow tired of doing good, of loving people, of serving people, of helping people out. Which on the one hand sounds great, okay? Well, we shouldn't give up on that. But on the other hand, but man, I'm tired. I'm worn out. I'm wondering if I'm doing enough and if we're making enough of a difference. And so Paul gives us some hope. He doesn't just tell us, hey, you need to not grow weary in doing good. You need to understand how you can keep going. And we need to understand how we can keep doing good and not grow tired of it. And that's when he says, "For in due season we will reap if we do not give up." So he's using this picture of farming and planting and growing crops that he used and Jesus used and lots of teachers back then used to basically the image of, like, it's the idea of you're sowing seeds of goodness and love and mercy and kindness. And at the moment you might not see anything growing, right? It's like you're doing a lot of work in your backyard or on your land and you're going through all the nasty dirt and you're breaking it up and you're trying to make it better so that something can grow, and then after all of that work you're completely exhausted and worn out. But if you give up at that stage, if you give up doing the work at that point, then nothing will ever grow. There won't be any crops, there won't be any flowers, there won't be any plants, because you never got to the point of putting the seed in the ground, and you never got to the point of watering the seed and seeing it grow and come to life. And so Paul is trying to encourage us and tell us, don't just keep doing good and don't give up on it, but here's how you do that. You have to have a long perspective. You have to have a long-term way of thinking about it and saying, okay, sometimes it feels like all I'm doing is digging in the dirt and breaking up the bad soil and trying to make the soil good. And I haven't even gotten to the point where we're planting seeds yet. And sometimes it's going to feel like we're watering things. And then other times it's going to be the blessing and the joy of reaping and seeing the good things come to life, that our love and our good actions and our kindness and our serving other people makes a difference. And we see a transformation in their hearts and their minds and their lives. And so as Paul encourages us to not give up, to not grow weary in doing good, he does it by encouraging us to have this long-term view that says, okay, I might not see the results of this act of kindness or this act of love or this act of generosity right now today. I might not even see it tomorrow or next week. But if we keep putting out goodness and kindness and love and grace and mercy into the world, we will see it have an effect. We will see people's minds and hearts and lives changed. So my encouragement to you is the Apostle Paul's encouragement, which is to not give up in doing good, to not give up in loving people and serving people and helping people, knowing that all of that does have a blessing. It does have a time where we will reap the benefits of it. We will see people's lives change. We will see their hearts and minds change. And we will see them come to know the love of Jesus. God's peace to you.